Welcome to Mondays with Vish. I'm Grant Cohn. That's Vish Kumaran. We said we'd be here at 2:15. Niner news has been breaking left and right. We had to catch our breath and catch up with it so we could talk about it and not be late, but now I think we can do it. Starting off with the newest 49er, Samson Ebukam, is a player that came from the Rams. He was there for 4 years. One of their better players, unheralded, plays special teams, plays defense for them, excellent against the run, versatile, young. I know the Niners thought very highly of him. Vish, what do you think?
Yeah, so the hardest thing I think has been about this free agency is that I actually have to talk about players this time. So it's like you're trying to just like Samson Ebukam is not a player I've spent a lot of time watching his film and really making sure I know his skill set in and out. So I'm trying to, look up his advanced metrics, try and figure out, because I've seen him here and there, but it's so hard, right? Because we have to come talk about it in 15, 20 minutes. And so I actually think this is a solid move. I think he's a really solid player. Now, I know a lot of people, I was of the idea that I would really prefer a Unique Ngakoue, a Carl Lawson, but in a salary cap league,
more expensive.
Right, that makes no sense. And I think there's a lot of different things he can do. He's quite athletic. He's 6'2", I think 245. That's his height weight. He's got some pass rush ability. He's not just a stick where you can drop him into zone coverage. He's not bad in space. So there's a lot of things he can do. Right, and he's got special teams value, and he hustles. He plays really hard. He plays hard. And so I think when you look at all of those things, it's a good signing for the Niners. We still don't know what DeMeco Ryans, and now they brought in James Betcher, what their absolute plan here on this defense is. We know that it's going to be somewhat similar to Robert Saleh, but we don't know what kind of touches DeMeco Ryans is going to add because he played on defenses that were not similar to what Robert Saleh was running here the past 3 years. So
real quick, I talked to Saleh about Ebukam a couple of years ago. We were talking about the upcoming Super Bowl between the Rams and the Patriots. And I remember Saleh breaking it down to me and him making a point to point out Ebukam, be like, he's really good. He's really good. He didn't even know his name. He was like, what is it? Ebukam? I don't know whatever his number is. He kept calling his number. So that guy's I'm telling you, he's really good. So I know the Niners have felt strongly about him for years. They see him twice a year. They game plan against him. And as you said, he's a coach's dream. He's versatile. He plays super hard. And he was just coming from a California team, so he's accustomed to the California taxes. He's a prime target for them in free agency.
Right, and I think, look, they weren't, again, we want Carl Lawson, we want Unique Ngakoue. Those weren't possibilities, but at this value, this is a pretty great signing for the 49ers because this is a low-risk signing. Worst case scenario, he's a really solid player for the 49ers, and I'd argue this is actually a player that doesn't have a particularly low ceiling because he has a really nice athletic profile. Yes. And when you have a nice athletic profile, you can get if you put him in the right spot, you might be able to get something special from him for a year, using him as a versatile chess piece on your defense.
Now, the thing is, on the Rams, he was a base player. They always had really good defensive linemen, but they saw him for 4 years and always felt, rotational, sure, we'll give you some snaps on the end, but we like you better as basically a Sam linebacker, base player, and a special teams guy. Now, I imagine the Niners, the investment they just made feel like there's more there, that he can give them more as a pass rusher. From what I've seen, I feel like he's a good in a rotation as your pass rusher, but he's more of a versatile. He's not exactly Ahmad Brooks.
No, Ahmad Brooks is actually a thought I had.
Brooks was 6'5", he had big arms, but
right. But he's got an explosive first step. He rushes with power, good pad level, and he plays with great effort. And so when you put all of those things together, he doesn't have to be D4. He just has to be someone serviceable that fights, gives good effort that they can use. And I think that's exactly what he's going to be.
And for a part-time player, for a guy to have 4.5 sacks is only playing 36% of the snaps, there might be something there. And I know the Niners like him. So I'm optimistic. We've talked about how the Niners make their big splashes on lower tier positions and the positional value. And when it happened, I was like, exactly. But no, he's a good player. He's just a Sam linebacker.
He is. This is a good signing.